What's up, everybody? I'm here working out, and I decided to get on camera and tell you about a time that I grew boobs. About a time that I grew a boob. So breast tissue. I started growing breast tissue. And I didn't know it at the time. I had something growing right about here, and it would start off kind of small, kept getting bigger, started to kind of like wrap around a little bit. And I started to get really concerned. I went to a doctor and he's like, don't worry about it, it's no big deal. Sometimes you just get things growing in your body, just ignore it. So I had that thing growing and I just did what he said. I kind of ignored it. I noticed at that same time, I went through a depression. I went through a time in my life where just everything just seemed to really suck at the moment. So before that, I had really prided myself on just being really happy all the time. I set up my mind and my circumstances, everything, to support my own happiness. And to actually go through that depression was one of the most significant moments in my life. And I thank God for that moment, because it actually allows me to express more empathy for people who are going through tough times. Because before that, I just couldn't understand anyone who didn't think life was great. You don't think life's great, man? What's the matter with you, dude? Life's great. Just feel good. And I tried doing that when I felt this way, and I just couldn't do it. I mean, I was just like, life's great. Life's great. And I was so anxious. I remember driving in my car, and my heart was just beating. I was like hyperventilating. And this was when I was working at Lifetime Fitness. I was sitting at the personal training desk, and I just wanted to cry so bad, and I was fighting every ounce of me just to stop from crying. And I had no idea why I wanted to cry. Absolutely no idea. I went to church and I would just like cry when normally I would go to church. It's not even a big deal. I would watch a movie that I was a Count of Monte Cristo. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but I probably had seen that movie twice. I watched it for the third time and it made me cry. So I was just super emotional. I was like, what is going on with me? So I kind of put two and two together. I figured my emotions are all over the place, and I'm growing this. I'm growing breast tissue. My estrogen levels must be up. My estrogen levels must be out of whack. And I couldn't figure it out, because typically when you grow breast tissue, it's a sign that you've done steroids. And I've never done steroids before. And so I just couldn't figure it out. So I did a lot of research. And at that time, I was eating a lot of soy. A lot of soy products. I was drinking soy milk, and I heard before that soy can raise your estrogens, but I had been eating soy for almost all my life, and it never affected me in this way. So I was like, that's not true, or it doesn't affect me in that way. So I looked at that and I said, okay, that's one thing. And another thing is I was eating out of plastic containers. And the thing is, eating soy is okay, eating out of plastic containers is okay, but if you do it like daily, it's like your daily ritual, it can mess up your hormonal balance. And there's certain chemicals within lots of plastics that leach into the food that mimic estrogen too. Soy is a phytoestrogen. So what I did personally is I decided to just cut those things out of my diet completely. And because I did, I started to see my mood start to stabilize. And although the doctors, everyone told me that once this is here, it's impossible to get rid of. Once this is here, you have to have surgery to get rid of it. Not in my case. In my case, once I did those two things, it started shrinking. Eventually it went away and my mood stabilized. I felt way better. And this might seem a little controversial or politically incorrect, but I also thank God for that moment, because I feel like it really allows me to relate to women, because before that I just didn't understand. I'm not saying I understand women now, but the idea of just constantly reassuring them, I love you, I told you that, or I love you. You don't believe me? I told you that already yesterday. But when I was going through that moment, I was just so insecure with my own self, and I needed to be constantly just reassured. And because of that, I'm making this video for a few reasons. I was just working out and I thought, hey, a lot of people are eating a lot of soy products, and they might be feeling kind of down, and they might not even know that those two things are connected. They might be eating a lot of plastic. So I wanted to share that with you. And then also just with women, just know that, if you're a man, it's hard for us to understand because we don't feel that way. But hey, in my own experience going through it, I know that it's just good to reassure them, makes them feel better. That's it, guys. Don't make fun of me because I grew a boob. Hope that helps one of you out there. God bless. Till next time.